It all started on our 10th wedding anniversary. Sasha and I were celebrating at a fancy restaurant downtown, our usual spot for special occasions. I was savoring every moment, but something felt off. While she was laughing and chatting, I noticed her phone buzzing incessantly. Out of curiosity, I glanced at the screen. There were several texts from the same number, an unfamiliar name, John. I brushed it off as work-related, but a knot formed in my stomach. Over the following weeks, my unease grew. Sasha started disappearing on weekends, claiming work obligations or hanging out with friends. Her phone was always close by, and whenever she thought I wasn't watching, she'd hurriedly respond to texts. Each time, it was from John. I began to piece together the puzzle, though I desperately wanted to ignore the growing evidence of something more sinister. One evening, while I was retrieving my wallet from the car, I saw Sasha texting on the go. Her thumb worked furiously, and I managed to catch a glimpse of the message thread. The name John appeared again, this time accompanied by words that suggested more than a casual acquaintance. My heart sank as I began to question what was truly going on. Determined to uncover the truth, I started tracking her movements. I noticed patterns, trips to a particular cafe and gym, places she frequented with increasing regularity. It became clear that these weren't just coincidental stops. She seemed to be hiding something, and every small detail confirmed my growing suspicion. Then one fateful night, my worst fears came true. I saw Sasha meeting John outside our house. They were close, too close, and my stomach churned with a mix of anger and betrayal. This was no longer just a suspicion, it was a harsh reality that I could no longer ignore. Feeling betrayed but determined to act rationally, I confided in my friend Mark. He was a rock during this chaotic time, offering not only support but also a plan for retribution that would allow me to regain control and dignity. He suggested confronting John directly to get the full picture, hoping it would provide some closure. I arranged a meeting with John under the guise of discussing some business. When we sat down, I tried to keep my composure, but the conversation was tense. I asked pointed questions, skillfully prying into their relationship. John, caught off guard, began to fidget and eventually confessed. It was as I feared, Sasha and John were involved in a full-blown affair. The next day, I faced Sasha with undeniable proof. I laid out the texts, the pictures, and the details I gathered. The look of guilt on her face was unmistakable as she stammered through her apologies. I remained calm, though my heart was breaking. I needed her to understand the gravity of her actions without a scene. Instead of a confrontation, I decided to execute my plan with a touch of dramatic flair. I left for an evening out, ensuring Sasha knew I was enjoying myself. I went to a planned party with friends, a stark contrast to the domestic routine we had fallen into. The night was a whirlwind of laughter and distraction, a stark contrast to the chaos at home. When I returned, I presented Sasha with a concert ticket I had bought for myself. It was a symbol of my intention to move forward, to embrace a future beyond our broken relationship. I told her she had time to reflect on her actions while I explored new beginnings. In the end, Sasha realized that our marriage was irreparably damaged. We parted ways, and I took the time I needed to heal and rebuild. The ordeal was painful, but it was also a turning point. I emerged from it stronger and more resolute, ready to embrace the future with hope and resilience. The days following that fateful evening were a whirlwind. The reality of Sasha's betrayal hit me hard, and I was determined to confront her in a way that would make the impact of her actions unmistakable. I needed to ensure that our separation was not only a consequence of her actions but also a stark reminder of how deeply she had hurt me. I spent the following week quietly gathering more evidence. Every time Sasha left the house, I found a new piece of the puzzle, from receipts of dinners she claimed were business meetings to phone records showing numerous calls and texts to John. Each discovery deepened the betrayal but also steeled my resolve. The day after I presented Sasha with the concert ticket, I took the opportunity to quietly plan my next move. I realized that if I wanted to make the separation as impactful as possible, I needed to strike a balance between showing my strength and avoiding unnecessary drama. I continued with my routine of working long hours and spending evenings with friends. I maintained an air of normalcy, but underneath, I was mentally preparing for the confrontation that would come next. I decided that I would be upfront with Sasha about how I felt, but I would do so in a way that was calculated and deliberate. I arranged a dinner at one of our favorite restaurants, choosing a table in a secluded corner. I wanted a setting that was both intimate and neutral, where we could talk without interruptions. I had already made up my mind to make this conversation as clear and final as possible. When Sasha arrived, she was visibly apprehensive but tried to mask it with a cheerful facade. She greeted me with a hesitant smile, and we exchanged small talk, but the atmosphere was charged with unspoken tension. I waited until the initial pleasantries were over, then gently steered the conversation towards our relationship. "Sasha, we need to talk," I began, keeping my tone calm but firm. "About us." Her expression shifted from tentative curiosity to one of unease. She knew where this conversation was headed, and though she had been dreading it, there was no escaping it now. "I've given this a lot of thought," I continued, looking directly into her eyes. "And I've come to realize that our marriage is over. The trust is gone, and I don't see a way to rebuild it." Her eyes filled with tears as she tried to explain, but I held up a hand to stop her. I had heard enough excuses. "Sasha, it's not about what you say now. It's about what you did and how it has changed everything. I'm not interested in hearing apologies or promises. I need you to understand that this is final." I could see the weight of her actions settling on her shoulders as she struggled to find words. The sadness in her eyes was palpable, but I remained resolute. This was not just about ending a relationship, it was about ensuring that there was no chance of us slipping back into old patterns. We spent the rest of the evening in strained silence, punctuated only by the occasional awkward attempt at small talk. When we finally left the restaurant, I made it clear that I needed time alone to process everything. I knew that our separation would be painful, but I also understood that it was necessary for both of us to move on. As I drove home alone, I felt a mix of relief and sorrow. The ordeal had been draining, but I was also beginning to feel a sense of liberation. The clarity of purpose that had guided me through the confrontation was now replaced with a cautious optimism about the future. The process of moving forward would be long and challenging, but I was determined to embrace it. I had taken the first crucial steps towards healing, and though the road ahead was uncertain, I was ready to face it with a newfound strength. In the weeks following our conversation at the restaurant, the reality of the situation began to settle in. The apartment felt emptier, quieter, and every corner seemed to echo with memories of better times. Sasha and I had agreed to go through the formalities of our separation with as little fuss as possible. But the emotional weight was undeniable. I spent my days focusing on work and spending time with friends, trying to maintain a semblance of normalcy. My routine had become my refuge, a way to keep my mind occupied and my emotions in check. Evenings were the hardest. The quiet after Sasha left was often punctuated by a gnawing loneliness, but I found solace in the distraction of social events and the company of supportive friends. One evening, Mark and I met at our usual spot, a cozy bar downtown. He was a pillar of support throughout this entire ordeal, and I was grateful for his constant presence. We discussed everything from work to sports, but the conversation inevitably turned back to my situation with Sasha. Mark had been instrumental in helping me through the initial shock, and now, he was assisting me in navigating the next steps. "You know," Mark said as we sipped our drinks, "this is a time for you to focus on yourself. Take this opportunity to really think about what you want from your future." His words resonated with me. I had been so wrapped up in the emotional fallout of Sasha's betrayal that I hadn't taken much time to reflect on what I wanted going forward. I had always been so focused on maintaining our life together that I had neglected my own needs and desires. I decided to take Mark's advice seriously. I began to evaluate my life from a new perspective. I thought about my goals, dreams, and the things I had put on hold. I began to explore new hobbies and interests, something that had been difficult to do while navigating the turbulence of my marriage. I started attending a cooking class, something I had always wanted to try but never had the time for. It was a small step, but it felt liberating. As the days turned into weeks, the process of rebuilding my life became more tangible. I continued to work on myself, both emotionally and mentally. I sought therapy to work through the residual pain and gain clarity about my feelings. I wanted to understand not only what had happened but also how I could move forward in a healthier, more fulfilling way. One weekend, I took a spontaneous trip to the mountains. It was a place I had always loved but had rarely visited due to our busy schedules. The fresh air and serene landscape offered a much-needed escape. I spent my time hiking, reflecting, and taking in the beauty of nature. It was during this trip that I had an epiphany about my future. I realized that the journey ahead was not just about recovering from the past but also about embracing the possibilities of a new beginning. Returning from the trip, I felt a renewed sense of purpose. I was no longer just moving away from the pain, I was moving towards something better. I began to set new goals for myself, both personally and professionally. I started thinking about career advancements I had previously set aside and began planning how I could achieve them. Sasha reached out occasionally, trying to reconnect and discuss unresolved matters. I kept our interactions brief and to the point, focusing on logistical issues and maintaining boundaries. I was firm in my decision and didn't allow myself to be swayed by emotional pleas. Life, though still challenging, began to feel more manageable. The process of healing was gradual, and though there were moments of doubt and sadness, I found strength in my newfound focus and direction. I was learning to navigate this new chapter of my life, and with each passing day, I felt more capable of facing whatever came next. In the end, this period of upheaval became a profound turning point. I was no longer defined by the betrayal or the pain but by my resilience and the path I was carving for myself. The journey was far from over, but I was ready to face it with hope and determination. As the weeks continued to pass, I found myself growing more accustomed to my new routine. The initial shock and hurt of the separation were gradually replaced by a sense of normalcy and even excitement for the future. I was rediscovering parts of myself that had been overshadowed by the chaos of my previous life. One day, as I was catching up with Mark at a local coffee shop, he suggested something that would further help me on this path to renewal. You should consider taking a break, maybe even a longer trip somewhere you've always wanted to go. It could be a great way to reset and gain new perspectives. His suggestion resonated with me. I had always wanted to visit Europe, particularly Italy, with its rich history and vibrant culture. It seemed like the perfect opportunity to embrace a fresh start. I spent the following weeks planning a solo trip, carefully mapping out my itinerary to include Rome, Florence, and Venice, 3 cities I had dreamed of exploring. Before my departure, I made sure all loose ends were tied up. I finalized the details of our separation agreement with Sasha, ensuring that everything was as amicable as possible. Although the process was emotionally taxing, I was determined to move forward with dignity and clarity. I also made arrangements for my apartment, deciding to rent a smaller place closer to my work to streamline my life even further. The day of my departure arrived, and as I boarded the plane, I felt a mixture of nervousness and exhilaration. It was my first significant journey alone since the separation, and it symbolized a new chapter in my life. The flight was long, but my anticipation kept me energized. I spent the time reviewing my travel guide, making mental notes of the places I wanted to visit, and reflecting on the personal growth I had experienced. Arriving in Rome was like stepping into another world. The city was bustling with life, its ancient streets filled with history and charm. I took a deep breath, feeling the warmth of the Italian sun on my face, and realized that this trip was exactly what I needed. I spent my days exploring landmarks like the Colosseum and the Vatican, immersing myself in the culture, and indulging in local cuisine. The experience was invigorating, offering a sense of freedom and discovery I hadn't felt in years. Florence and Venice provided their own unique delights. In Florence, I marveled at the art and architecture, feeling inspired by the creativity that surrounded me. Venice, with its winding canals and picturesque views, was a perfect place for reflection and relaxation. I took long gondola rides and leisurely strolls, savoring the beauty of the city and the solitude of my thoughts. During my travels, I met other solo travelers and locals who shared their stories and insights. These interactions broadened my perspective and reinforced the idea that I was on the right path. I learned that life's twists and turns often lead to unexpected but rewarding experiences. My conversations with others helped me realize that I was not alone in navigating the complexities of personal growth and change. Returning home, I felt rejuvenated and ready to embrace the future. The trip had not only been a break from the routine but also a transformative experience that solidified my sense of self. I returned with a renewed outlook and a deeper understanding of what I wanted from life. As I settled back into my new apartment, I felt a sense of accomplishment and readiness for the next phase of my journey. I was now more focused on pursuing my career goals and exploring new opportunities that aligned with my newfound perspective. The separation from Sasha, though painful, had ultimately set me on a path of self-discovery and growth. This chapter of my life was closing, but it was also a prelude to a new and exciting adventure. I embraced the possibilities with open arms, eager to see where this path would lead. Each step forward was a testament to my resilience and a reminder that, despite the challenges, the future held great promise. Settling back into my new routine after the trip to Europe brought a refreshing sense of clarity and purpose. The trip had been a profound experience, but returning to daily life meant facing the reality of rebuilding and moving forward. I was determined to make the most of this newfound perspective and focus on the areas of my life that needed attention. At work, I began to take more initiative, tackling projects with renewed enthusiasm. My fresh outlook allowed me to approach challenges with a positive mindset, and I found myself more productive and engaged than ever before. My colleagues noticed the change, and their support helped reinforce my commitment to professional growth. Outside of work, I continued to explore new hobbies and interests. The cooking class one had started became a highlight of my week, and I quickly developed a passion for culinary arts. I enjoyed experimenting with new recipes and techniques, and it became a creative outlet that brought joy and satisfaction. I even started hosting small dinner parties, where I could share my creations with friends and further expand my social circle. One evening, while preparing for a dinner party, I received a call from Sasha. It had been several weeks since our last conversation, and I wasn't expecting to hear from her. Her voice was hesitant but sincere as she apologized for her actions and asked if we could meet to discuss some unresolved matters. I agreed to meet her, but with the understanding that the conversation would remain focused on practical matters rather than reopening old wounds. We chose a quiet cafe for our meeting, a neutral space that would provide a setting for a calm discussion. When Sasha arrived, she looked more composed than I had seen her in a long time. The lines of stress and guilt on her face were still present, but there was a new sense of resolve in her demeanor. We exchanged pleasantries and then got down to the business at hand. We discussed the final details of our separation, including the division of shared assets and any lingering financial matters. I was careful to keep the conversation focused and efficient, avoiding any emotional digressions. As we wrapped up the practicalities, Sasha expressed a genuine sense of regret for the pain she had caused. I could see that she was struggling with her emotions, and while I felt some sympathy, I remained firm in my decision to move forward. I thanked her for her candor and reiterated that our relationship was irreparably damaged, emphasizing that it was time for both of us to focus on our own paths. After the meeting, I felt a mixture of relief and closure. The unresolved issues that had lingered were now addressed, and I could fully embrace the next chapter of my life without lingering doubts. The process of moving on was ongoing, but this conversation marked a significant step toward finalizing our separation. In the following weeks, I continued to immerse myself in my new pursuits and experiences. My renewed focus on personal development and career goals helped me feel more in control and optimistic about the future. I began exploring opportunities for further professional advancement and considered enrolling in additional courses to enhance my skills. Socially, I found that my network of friends was growing. The connections I made through the cooking class and other activities enriched my life and provided a sense of community. I embraced these new relationships, finding joy in the shared experiences and mutual support. The journey of moving on was far from over, but each step forward reinforced my sense of resilience and hope. The challenges of the past had shaped me, but they no longer defined me. I was building a life that was uniquely my own, one that was grounded in self-discovery and personal growth. As I looked ahead, I was excited about the possibilities that awaited me. The road to recovery had been long and difficult, but it had led me to a place of newfound strength and clarity. I was ready to face the future with confidence, knowing that I had the tools and the mindset to create a fulfilling and meaningful life. As the months rolled on, my new routine felt increasingly comfortable and fulfilling. My focus on personal growth and career development had begun to pay off. And I felt a growing sense of contentment with the direction my life was taking. The initial pain of the separation was fading into the background, replaced by a more stable and optimistic outlook. One day, I received an unexpected call from my former boss, who had moved on to a new company and was now seeking a candidate for a senior position. The opportunity was intriguing and aligned perfectly with my career goals. It was a chance to take a significant step forward, leveraging the skills and experiences I had accumulated over the years. After careful consideration, I decided to pursue the opportunity. I spent weeks preparing for the interviews, revisiting my professional achievements, and strategizing how to present myself effectively. The process was intense but invigorating. I felt a renewed sense of purpose as I navigated the challenges of the job search, and it was a welcome distraction from the residual emotional turbulence. The interviews went well, and the prospect of a new role was exciting. I was thrilled when I received the offer letter. It was a moment of validation and a clear signal that my hard work and perseverance were paying off. I accepted the position with enthusiasm, eager to embrace this new chapter in my professional journey. With the new job on the horizon, I decided it was time to make a few more changes to my personal life. I began looking for a new apartment in a different neighborhood, one that was more in line with my evolving lifestyle. I wanted a space that reflected my growth and offered a fresh start. Finding the right place took some time, but eventually, I discovered a charming apartment that felt like the perfect fit. Moving into the new apartment was a symbolic fresh start. As I unpacked and arranged my belongings, I felt a sense of accomplishment and renewal. The new space represented not just a physical change but also a transformation in how I approached life. It was a tangible reminder of how far I had come and a beacon of the possibilities that lay ahead. My social life continued to thrive as well. The friendships I had built through my new hobbies and activities became an integral part of my support system. I hosted more gatherings and enjoyed spending time with people who genuinely appreciated and supported me. The sense of community and connection was both comforting and empowering. Despite the progress, there were still moments of reflection. I occasionally thought about Sasha and the life we once shared. While the memories were bittersweet, they no longer held the power to overshadow my present or future. I had learned valuable lessons from the experience, and I carried them with me as I moved forward. One evening, while attending a networking event for my new job, I met someone who sparked my interest. We connected over shared interests and experiences, and there was an easy camaraderie that felt refreshing. As we continued to spend time together, I found myself opening up to the possibility of new relationships. It was a cautious but hopeful step towards finding someone who could complement the new chapter of my life. The journey of self-discovery and healing was ongoing, but I embraced it with a sense of purpose and positivity. I was learning to navigate life with a renewed perspective, balancing professional ambitions with personal fulfillment. The future was filled with potential, and I was ready to seize the opportunities that came my way. In reflecting on the path I had traveled, I realized that the pain of the past had ultimately led to a more profound understanding of myself. It had pushed me to grow, to adapt, and to embrace new beginnings with an open heart. As I continued to forge ahead, I was confident that the experiences of the past had prepared me for a brighter and more fulfilling future. As my new role and living situation began to settle into place, I found myself reflecting more deeply on the changes I had undergone. The fresh start had been invigorating, but I recognized that true growth required ongoing introspection and adjustment. Life had taken on a new rhythm, one that I was learning to navigate with increasing confidence. A few months into the new job, I was invited to a company retreat. It was an opportunity not only to bond with my colleagues but also to take a step back from the daily grind and assess my progress. The retreat was held at a scenic resort, offering a perfect backdrop for both relaxation and reflection. The retreat was a mix of team-building exercises and personal development workshops. One particular session focused on goal setting and envisioning one's future. The facilitator encouraged us to think beyond immediate objectives and consider long-term aspirations. As I participated in the exercises, I felt a surge of clarity. The experiences of the past year had reshaped my goals, and I began to visualize a future that was both exciting and attainable. One evening, during a casual networking event at the resort, I had a conversation with a colleague named Emily. She was warm, engaging, and had an inspiring story of her own personal journey. We connected over our shared experiences and aspirations, and I found myself opening up in a way I hadn't expected. Our conversation was a reminder of the value of genuine connections and the importance of surrounding oneself with supportive and like-minded individuals. As the retreat came to a close, I felt recharged and motivated. The insights gained and the connections made were invaluable, and I was eager to apply what I had learned to both my personal and professional life. I returned home with a renewed sense of purpose, ready to tackle new challenges and seize opportunities with a fresh perspective. Back in the daily grind, I began to put my retreat insights into practice. I set new professional goals, including pursuing leadership opportunities within my company. I also took steps to continue my personal development, enrolling in courses and attending workshops that aligned with my interests and aspirations. My social life also continued to evolve. The connection I had made with Emily blossomed into a meaningful friendship. We supported each other through various personal and professional challenges, and our conversations often centered around our shared experiences and goals. It was a reminder of the importance of building a network of genuine relationships, one that extends beyond mere acquaintances. In the midst of these positive changes, I occasionally encountered reminders of the past. Sasha reached out from time to time, primarily to check on mutual friends or address lingering administrative details. While our interactions were civil and polite, they remained brief and focused on practical matters. I had learned to maintain boundaries, ensuring that my focus remained on the present and the future rather than dwelling on past grievances. One particularly memorable evening, I found myself reflecting on how far I had come. I had hosted a small gathering at my new apartment, filled with friends and colleagues who had supported me throughout this journey. The evening was filled with laughter, meaningful conversations, and a sense of community that reinforced the positive changes in my life. As I looked around the room, I realized that my life had transformed in ways I hadn't anticipated. The pain of the past had given way to a richer, more fulfilling existence. I had embraced new opportunities, built meaningful connections, and pursued personal growth with renewed vigor. The path ahead was still unfolding, but I felt equipped to navigate it with confidence. The experiences of the past year had taught me resilience, self-awareness, and the importance of staying true to oneself. I was ready to face whatever challenges and opportunities lay ahead, knowing that I had the strength and clarity to embrace them fully. The journey of recovery and self-discovery was ongoing, but each step forward affirmed that I was on the right path. As I continued to build my life, I looked forward to the future with hope and excitement, ready to create a meaningful and fulfilling chapter that was uniquely my own. As the year drew to a close, I found myself reflecting on the remarkable transformations that had taken place in my life. The changes had been profound, and the personal growth I had experienced was more significant than I could have anticipated. It was a time of both celebration and contemplation as I prepared for the new year and the opportunities it might bring. One aspect of my renewed outlook was a heightened focus on giving back. I had always believed in the importance of contributing to the community, but the events of the past year had deepened my commitment to this value. I started volunteering with a local charity that supported underprivileged youth, mentoring young people and sharing the lessons I had learned from my own journey. The experience was both rewarding and humbling, reinforcing the sense of purpose I had found in my personal and professional life. In addition to my volunteer work, I continued to nurture my personal interests. The cooking classes that had once been a new hobby had evolved into a genuine passion. I began experimenting with recipes and techniques, and even started a small food blog to share my creations. The blog quickly gained a following, and it became a creative outlet that allowed me to express myself in new and fulfilling ways. It was gratifying to see how something I had started for personal enjoyment had grown into a meaningful project. The holiday season provided an opportunity to reconnect with friends and family. I hosted a holiday party at my apartment, inviting those who had been supportive throughout the year. It was a festive occasion filled with good food, laughter, and heartfelt conversations. The warmth and camaraderie of the gathering were a testament to the strong relationships I had cultivated and the positive changes that had come from embracing new experiences. During the party, a conversation with Emily turned to our respective plans for the future. We discussed aspirations, dreams, and the steps we were taking to achieve our goals. Our shared sense of optimism and determination was invigorating, and it reinforced my belief in the importance of surrounding oneself with positive influences. Emily's insights and encouragement were invaluable, and I appreciated the supportive friendship that had developed between us. As the new year approached, I took time to set clear goals and intentions. I reflected on the lessons learned and the progress made, considering how to build on these achievements. I set professional goals aimed at advancing my career, including pursuing leadership training and expanding my professional network. On a personal level, I committed to continuing my volunteer work and deepening my involvement in the community. The transition into the new year was marked by a sense of excitement and anticipation. I celebrated the arrival of 2024 with a renewed sense of purpose and optimism. The challenges and changes of the past year had prepared me for this moment, and I was eager to embrace the opportunities that lay ahead. In the days that followed, I felt a profound sense of gratitude for the journey I had undergone. The process of healing, self-discovery, and growth had not been easy, but it had been transformative. I had emerged from the experience with a clearer sense of self and a deeper appreciation for the positive aspects of my life. As I continued to move forward, I remained focused on building a future that was both fulfilling and meaningful. The lessons of the past had shaped my approach to life, and I was committed to pursuing my goals with dedication and enthusiasm. The path ahead was still unfolding, but I was ready to face it with confidence, knowing that I had the resilience and clarity to navigate whatever challenges and opportunities might come my way. The journey was far from over, but I welcomed it with an open heart and a sense of purpose. The future held promise, and I was prepared to embrace it fully, building on the foundation of growth and positive change that had defined the past year. The first few months of the new year flew by in a whirlwind of activity and progress. My career was flourishing in my new role, and my personal projects continued to thrive. Despite the busy pace, I remained focused on maintaining a balance between work, personal interests, and my commitment to giving back to the community. One day, while attending a networking event for my professional association, I ran into an old colleague, Laura, whom I hadn't seen since the early days of my career. We exchanged pleasantries and caught up on each other's lives. Laura was enthusiastic about her own career developments and mentioned an exciting opportunity she had been working on, a collaborative project that combined technology and social impact. Her passion for the project was infectious, and she extended an invitation for me to get involved. Intrigued, I agreed to meet with Laura and her team to learn more about the project. The initiative aimed to develop a technology platform that would provide educational resources and mentorship to underserved communities. It was a cause that resonated with me deeply, aligning perfectly with my own values and interests. The meeting with Laura and her team was inspiring. They had already made significant strides in developing the platform, but they needed additional expertise to help refine their approach and expand their reach. I was excited about the possibility of contributing to such a meaningful project and offered to assist in any way I could. Over the next few months, I became actively involved in the project, working alongside Laura and her team to enhance the platform's features and outreach strategies. The work was both challenging and rewarding. I collaborated with a diverse group of professionals, each bringing unique skills and perspectives to the table. Together, we developed new features for the platform, created engaging content, and built partnerships with community organizations. The experience of working on this project provided a profound sense of fulfillment. It was a tangible way to make a difference, and it reinforced my commitment to using my skills and resources to contribute positively to society. The project also allowed me to apply my professional expertise in new and innovative ways, further enriching my career development. As the project neared its launch, the team organized a community event to showcase the platform and gather feedback from potential users. The event was a tremendous success, with enthusiastic participation from local organizations, educators, and community members. Seeing the impact of our work firsthand was incredibly gratifying and validated the effort and dedication we had invested in the project. In the midst of these professional accomplishments, my personal life continued to flourish. My friendships and social connections grew stronger, and I found myself increasingly open to new experiences and relationships. The balance I had achieved between my career, personal interests, and community involvement was both fulfilling and energizing. One evening, after a particularly successful project meeting, Emily and I decided to celebrate by cooking a special dinner together. The evening was a wonderful reminder of the importance of nurturing meaningful relationships and celebrating achievements, no matter how small. We spent hours cooking, chatting, and reflecting on our respective journeys. It was moments like these that reinforced the sense of gratitude and contentment I felt in my life. As the year progressed, I continued to embrace opportunities for growth and development. I remained dedicated to my career goals, personal passions, and community involvement. Each aspect of my life was interconnected, contributing to a sense of overall well-being and fulfillment. Looking back on the journey, I marveled at how far I had come. The challenges of the past had led to a richer, more rewarding present. The growth and achievements of the past year had been transformative, shaping my outlook and reinforcing my commitment to living a purposeful and meaningful life. As I prepared for the next phase of my journey, I felt a deep sense of satisfaction and excitement for the future. The experiences of the past had equipped me with the resilience, clarity, and determination needed to navigate whatever lay ahead. With each step, I continued to build on the foundation of growth and positive change, eager to see where this new chapter would take me. As summer approached, life continued to unfold with a sense of momentum and achievement. My involvement in the community project had reached a critical point, and I was excited to see the tangible results of our efforts. The platform we had worked so hard on was gaining traction, and the positive feedback from users was incredibly rewarding. In the midst of this busy period, I received an unexpected email from Sasha. It had been several months since we last communicated, and I wasn't sure what to expect. The email was brief but sincere. She mentioned that she had been doing a lot of reflecting and wanted to reach out to discuss how things were going on my end. She also expressed hope that we could have a conversation to clear the air. I was initially apprehensive about reopening communication. However, I recognized that maintaining an open and honest dialogue could be a constructive step towards finalizing our past and moving forward completely. After some contemplation, I agreed to meet her. We decided on a quiet cafe, a neutral setting that would allow us to have a frank and respectful conversation. When Sasha arrived, she looked more composed and introspective than I had seen her in a long time. We greeted each other with a mixture of familiarity and formality. As we settled into our conversation, it became clear that Sasha had been doing her own work on understanding the past and its impact on both of us. She shared her thoughts on the lessons she had learned and expressed genuine remorse for the pain she had caused. I listened attentively, allowing myself to acknowledge the emotions that surfaced but also maintaining a firm boundary. The conversation was respectful and, while emotional, did not dwell on recriminations or past grievances. We discussed how we had both changed and grown since our separation and agreed that it was time to fully close that chapter of our lives. The meeting was cathartic and offered a sense of closure. It was a final piece of the puzzle that allowed me to fully embrace the present and future without lingering doubts or unresolved feelings. As we parted ways, I felt a profound sense of relief and readiness to continue my journey with a clear and unburdened mind. Following our conversation, I focused on further enhancing my personal and professional growth. The project we had launched was thriving, and I was involved in planning its next phase, which included expanding its reach and impact. I was eager to see how our work could continue to benefit the community and make a difference in the lives of those we aimed to support. On the personal front, I continued to enjoy the balance I had achieved. My relationships with friends and family were stronger than ever, and I felt a deep sense of fulfillment from my various pursuits. I was also contemplating new opportunities, including potential collaborations and projects that aligned with my interests and values. One of the most fulfilling aspects of this period was witnessing the growth of the community platform. We had successfully integrated new features based on user feedback and had formed partnerships with additional organizations. The positive impact on the community reinforced my belief in the value of the project and motivated me to continue contributing to its success. As summer gave way to autumn, I looked forward to the changes and opportunities that the new season would bring. I remained committed to my goals and excited about the future. Each experience and achievement of the past year had shaped me into a more resilient and self-aware individual. The journey of growth and renewal had been challenging but immensely rewarding. Reflecting on the progress made, I felt a deep sense of gratitude for the lessons learned and the support I had received from those around me. The path forward was clear, and I was eager to embrace the next chapter with the same enthusiasm and determination that had guided me through the past year. The future held promise, and I was ready to face it with confidence and optimism. As the year progressed, my life continued to evolve in unexpected and enriching ways. The positive changes that had begun a year earlier seemed to build upon themselves, creating a cycle of growth and fulfillment. My professional achievements and personal development were intertwined, each feeding into the other and propelling me forward. The community platform project had gained significant momentum, and our team was exploring new avenues to expand its impact. We were planning a series of workshops and webinars designed to provide additional support and resources to our users. The response from the community had been overwhelmingly positive, and we were excited about the potential to reach even more individuals with our initiatives. One of the highlights of this period was a major event we organized to celebrate the first anniversary of the platform's launch. The event brought together stakeholders, users, and community leaders for an evening of reflection and recognition. It was a wonderful opportunity to showcase the platform's achievements and to express gratitude to everyone who had contributed to its success. The event was a resounding success, marked by inspiring speeches, heartfelt stories from users, and an engaging panel discussion about the future of the platform. Seeing the tangible impact of our work and the genuine enthusiasm of the attendees was a powerful reminder of why I had become involved in the project in the first place. It reinforced my commitment to continuing to contribute to meaningful causes and to making a positive difference in the community. In parallel with my professional endeavors, my personal life continued to flourish. The friendships and relationships I had cultivated were a constant source of support and joy. I continued to deepen my connections with those who had stood by me throughout my journey. Emily and I maintained our close friendship, and our regular meetups became a cherished part of my routine. One day, while attending a networking event for a different initiative, I met someone new named Alex. We hit it off immediately, finding common ground in our interests and professional experiences. Our conversations flowed easily, and there was a palpable sense of connection. Over time, our acquaintance grew into a friendship, and eventually, a romantic relationship. The development of this new relationship was both exciting and comforting. Alex was supportive, understanding, and shared many of my values and interests. Our time together was filled with laughter, shared experiences, and a deep sense of companionship. It was a refreshing and positive addition to my life, and it offered a new dimension of personal fulfillment. As the seasons changed, I found myself embracing the new dynamics in my life with enthusiasm. My relationship with Alex brought a new layer of happiness and stability, while my ongoing involvement in the community project continued to provide a profound sense of purpose. Each aspect of my life was contributing to a holistic sense of well-being and satisfaction. The growth I experienced over the past year was evident in the way I approached new challenges and opportunities. I had developed a greater sense of resilience, self-awareness, and confidence. The lessons learned from the past had become a valuable foundation upon which I built my present and future. One of the most significant realizations during this time was the importance of balance and self-care. Despite the busyness of work and personal life, I made a conscious effort to prioritize my well-being. Regular exercise, mindful relaxation, and moments of introspection became integral parts of my routine, helping me maintain a healthy and balanced lifestyle. As I looked ahead to the future, I felt a deep sense of excitement and anticipation. The possibilities seemed endless, and I was eager to continue pursuing my goals, both professionally and personally. The experiences and growth of the past year had prepared me well for the journey ahead. And I was ready to embrace it with open arms. Reflecting on the journey thus far, I felt a profound sense of gratitude for the opportunities and experiences that had shaped my life. The path I had traveled had been transformative, leading me to a place of fulfillment, happiness, and purpose. As I continued to build on this foundation, I was confident that the future held even more possibilities for growth and enrichment. The arrival of fall brought with it a renewed sense of purpose and direction. With the community platform project thriving and my personal life enriched by new relationships and experiences, I was ready to embark on new adventures and challenges. The sense of momentum was palpable, and I was eager to see where it would lead. One of the most exciting developments was the opportunity to lead a new initiative within my company. I had been promoted to a managerial position, and with it came the responsibility of overseeing a team working on an innovative project aimed at expanding our company's reach into new markets. The role was a significant step forward in my career, and I approached it with a mix of enthusiasm and determination. The transition into management was both challenging and rewarding. I was tasked with guiding a diverse team, each member bringing their unique skills and perspectives to the project. Navigating the dynamics of leadership required a careful balance of motivation, communication, and strategic planning. I found myself drawing on the lessons learned from past experiences, particularly the importance of clear goals and supportive relationships. The project quickly gained traction, and we began to see positive results from our efforts. The team's collaborative spirit and dedication were instrumental in overcoming obstacles and achieving milestones. It was gratifying to witness the project's growth and to see my leadership contribute to its success. The experience reinforced my belief in the power of teamwork and the importance of nurturing a positive and inclusive work environment. Outside of work, my relationship with Alex continued to deepen. We shared many experiences, from weekend getaways to quiet evenings spent cooking together. Our connection was marked by mutual respect, support, and a shared vision for the future. It was a comforting and fulfilling partnership, and I valued the balance it brought to my life. As the end of the year approached, I reflected on the significant changes and achievements that had defined my journey. The personal and professional growth I had experienced was more than I could have anticipated. The challenges and successes had shaped me into a more resilient and self-assured individual, ready to embrace the future with confidence. One of the highlights of this period was the opportunity to give back to the community in new ways. With the success of the platform and my increased involvement in various initiatives, I decided to organize a charity fundraiser. The event aimed to support local organizations that provided resources and support to underserved populations. The fundraiser was a labor of love, involving extensive planning and coordination. I reached out to community leaders, local businesses, and volunteers to make the event a success. The response was overwhelmingly positive, and the event raised significant funds for the causes we supported. It was a powerful reminder of the impact that collective effort and community spirit can have. The success of the fundraiser was a testament to the strength of the connections and relationships I had built. The support from friends, colleagues, and community members was instrumental in achieving our goals. The event also reinforced my commitment to making a difference and using my resources and skills to support meaningful causes. As the year came to a close, I took time to celebrate the accomplishments and milestones of the past months. I hosted a gathering with close friends and family to reflect on the journey and to express gratitude for their support. The evening was filled with joy, laughter, and a sense of accomplishment. Looking ahead, I felt a profound sense of optimism and excitement for the future. The experiences of the past year had equipped me with the tools and mindset needed to navigate new opportunities and challenges. I was ready to continue pursuing my goals, both personally and professionally, with renewed energy and focus. The journey had been transformative, leading to growth, fulfillment, and a deeper understanding of myself and my values. As I prepared to step into the new year, I embraced it with a sense of anticipation and confidence. The path ahead was bright, and I was eager to continue building on the foundation of success and positive change that had defined the past year. As the new year unfolded, I was filled with a sense of purpose and anticipation. The past year had been marked by significant personal and professional growth, and I was eager to build on this momentum. With my career in a promising new phase and a fulfilling personal life, I felt ready to tackle new challenges and explore new opportunities. One of the most exciting developments was the launch of a new project at work. The initiative was aimed at expanding our company's presence in international markets, and it required a strategic approach and innovative solutions. Given my recent promotion and experience, I was appointed as the project lead. This role presented an opportunity to apply my skills on a larger scale and to make a meaningful impact on the company's global strategy. The project's scope was ambitious, involving market research, partnership development, and the adaptation of our product offerings to meet diverse needs. I assembled a dedicated team and began the process of setting clear objectives and strategies. The initial phases were challenging, as we navigated complex market dynamics and cultural differences. However, the team's commitment and collaborative spirit were key to overcoming these hurdles. One of the most rewarding aspects of the project was the opportunity to work closely with colleagues from different parts of the world. Their insights and perspectives enriched our approach and helped us develop solutions that were both innovative and culturally relevant. The experience reinforced my belief in the value of diversity and the importance of leveraging different viewpoints to achieve success. In parallel with my professional endeavors, my personal life continued to thrive. Alex and I were growing closer, and our relationship became an integral part of my daily life. We enjoyed shared interests and experiences, from traveling to exploring new hobbies together. Our connection was marked by mutual respect and support, and it provided a solid foundation for both of us as we navigated our respective professional and personal goals. Amidst these positive developments, I continued to stay engaged with the community platform project. The platform's impact was evident, and we were constantly exploring ways to enhance its reach and effectiveness. I remained actively involved in planning and implementing new features and initiatives, driven by a commitment to making a difference and supporting underserved communities. One of the most fulfilling aspects of this period was witnessing the tangible outcomes of our efforts. The feedback from users and the success of our initiatives provided a sense of validation and accomplishment. It was gratifying to see the positive change we were fostering and to know that our work was making a meaningful difference. As the year progressed, I also took time to reflect on my personal growth and the lessons learned. The challenges and achievements of the past year had provided valuable insights into my strengths and areas for development. I continued to prioritize self-care and personal well-being, ensuring that I maintained a healthy balance between work and personal life. Looking forward, I set new goals for the year ahead. I aimed to further develop my leadership skills, to explore new opportunities for professional growth, and to continue contributing to causes that mattered to me. My focus was on building on the successes of the past year while remaining open to new possibilities and experiences. The sense of optimism and excitement for the future was palpable. I was ready to embrace the opportunities and challenges that lay ahead with confidence and enthusiasm. The journey of growth and transformation had equipped me with the resilience and clarity needed to navigate the future successfully. As I prepared to step into the new year, I felt a deep sense of gratitude for the experiences and accomplishments that had shaped my journey. The path I had traveled had been transformative, leading to a place of fulfillment, purpose, and happiness. With a clear vision and a renewed sense of purpose, I looked forward to the future, eager to continue building on the foundation of success and positive change that had defined the past year. As the months rolled on, the international project I was leading at work began to show promising results. Our strategic initiatives were starting to gain traction, and we saw early signs of success in several new markets. The challenges of adapting our approach to diverse cultural and business environments were significant, but the rewards were equally substantial. It was invigorating to witness our team's hard work pay off, and it reinforced my commitment to the project and its goals. One of the most gratifying aspects was the opportunity to travel and meet with international partners. These trips allowed me to build relationships, understand market nuances firsthand, and align our strategies with local needs. Each visit was a learning experience, and the insights gained were instrumental in refining our approach. The exposure to different perspectives broadened my understanding and enriched my professional experience. During one of these trips, I had the chance to visit a community organization that was a key partner in our project. Seeing the direct impact of our efforts on the ground was incredibly moving. The organization's work aligned closely with the mission of our platform, and it was inspiring to witness the tangible benefits we were helping to create. The visit was a powerful reminder of why I was so passionate about the project and motivated me to continue pushing forward. Back home, my relationship with Alex continued to flourish. We found ourselves navigating the complexities of our busy schedules while still making time for each other. Our shared experiences and supportive dynamic became a cornerstone of my personal life. We celebrated milestones and cherished the everyday moments, building a strong foundation for our future together. In addition to my professional and personal achievements, I decided to embark on a new personal project, writing a book. The idea had been percolating for some time, and I felt that it was the right moment to pursue it. The book would focus on personal growth and resilience, drawing from my experiences over the past few years. It was an ambitious undertaking, but it felt like a natural extension of my journey and a way to share the lessons I had learned. Balancing this new project with my existing responsibilities required careful planning and time management. I dedicated weekends and evenings to writing, finding solace and fulfillment in the creative process. The book became a source of inspiration and reflection, allowing me to distill my experiences into insights that could potentially help others on their own journeys. As the end of the year approached, I took a moment to reflect on the progress and achievements of the past months. The international project was gaining momentum, the platform continued to make a positive impact, and my personal and professional growth was evident. It was a year of transformation, marked by challenges overcome and goals achieved. One of the most rewarding experiences was receiving feedback from those who had been touched by the community platform. Hearing their stories and understanding the difference we had made in their lives was deeply fulfilling. It reaffirmed the importance of the work we were doing and motivated me to continue striving for excellence. With the new year on the horizon, I felt a sense of excitement and readiness for what lay ahead. The experiences of the past year had equipped me with valuable insights and skills. I was prepared to embrace new opportunities, tackle new challenges, and continue building on the successes of the past year. The journey had been marked by growth, resilience, and achievement. As I looked forward to the future, I carried with me a sense of gratitude and optimism. The path ahead was full of possibilities, and I was eager to continue pursuing my goals and contributing to the positive impact we had begun to create. With a clear vision and renewed energy, I was ready to embrace the next chapter of my life with confidence and excitement. As the new year began, I found myself reflecting on the journey that had led me to this point. The experiences and challenges of the past had shaped me in profound ways. And I was eager to see how the coming year would unfold. With my international project gaining momentum, my personal life thriving, and my new book project well underway, I was filled with a sense of anticipation and optimism. The book was progressing steadily, and I dedicated time each week to writing and refining my manuscript. The process was both challenging and rewarding. It allowed me to distill my experiences into a cohesive narrative, sharing the insights and lessons I had learned along the way. The feedback I received from early readers was encouraging, and it motivated me to continue pushing forward. In addition to my book, I was deeply involved in the ongoing efforts of the community platform. We had launched several new initiatives aimed at expanding our reach and enhancing our services. One of the most exciting developments was a new partnership with a major organization that provided additional resources and support for our users. This partnership was a testament to the platform's success and its growing impact on the community. My role as a project lead continued to be both challenging and fulfilling. The international expansion required constant adaptation and innovation, and I enjoyed the dynamic nature of the work. The team's dedication and collaboration were key to our success, and we achieved several significant milestones over the course of the year. Each achievement was a reminder of the hard work and commitment that had gone into the project. On the personal front, Alex and I continued to strengthen our relationship. We found joy in our shared activities and supported each other through the demands of our respective careers. Our bond grew deeper as we navigated life's ups and downs together, and I felt fortunate to have such a supportive and loving partner by my side. In addition to my professional and personal pursuits, I became increasingly involved in local community initiatives. I joined a nonprofit organization focused on environmental conservation, which aligned with my values and interests. Volunteering with this organization allowed me to contribute to a cause I cared deeply about and to connect with like-minded individuals. The balance between work, personal life, and community involvement required careful management. I made a conscious effort to prioritize self-care and to maintain a healthy work-life balance. Regular exercise, mindfulness practices, and quality time with loved ones became integral parts of my routine, helping me to stay grounded and focused. As the year progressed, I began to prepare for the launch of my book. The final stages of editing and production were both exciting and nerve-wracking. I organized a series of events and book signings to promote the book and to connect with readers. The response to these events was overwhelmingly positive, and it was gratifying to see the book resonate with others. The success of the book and the continued progress of the international project were milestones that I celebrated with gratitude. Each achievement was a reflection of the hard work and dedication that had characterized my journey. I remained committed to pursuing my goals and to making a positive impact in both my personal and professional life. Looking ahead, I was eager to embrace new opportunities and challenges. The experiences of the past year had equipped me with valuable skills and insights, and I felt prepared to take on whatever came next. With a sense of purpose and optimism, I approached the future with confidence, ready to continue building on the foundation of success and fulfillment that had defined my recent years. The journey had been marked by growth, resilience, and achievement. As I looked forward to the new year, I carried with me a deep sense of gratitude and excitement. The path ahead was full of possibilities, and I was eager to continue pursuing my passions and contributing to the positive impact we had begun to create. With a clear vision and renewed energy, I was ready to embrace the next chapter of my life with enthusiasm and determination.